police say they've established a dedicated team to track down 18 Chinese fugitives believed to be hiding in South Africa. This follows the extradition of 63-year-old Chen Fuijia at OR Tambo International Airport earlier today. Now, he'd been hiding since 2021, we're told, and is accused of defrauding the Chinese government of 120 million rand.
A 63-year-old fugitive of justice who fled to South Africa in 2021. According to the Chinese government, he defrauded them of 120 million rand, in which he was running an illegal foreign currency exchange business in that particular country. So he defrauded in that particular business because he wasn't paying taxes, he wasn't registered with the regulatory authorities in that country. He defrauded the Chinese government 120 million rand. So he was placed on a red notice, which is a request to law enforcement agencies across the world to assist a particular country to locate and arrest and then surrender that particular fugitive of justice to them. So last year, in July 2025, he was attempting to apply for a US visa. We were then alerted by the embassy on what he was attempting to do, and we arrested him there and there. He's been in police custody for the past 6 months.
Now, SABC News reporter Calvin Zhuja was at OR Tambo International Airport. He's with us now at our Auckland Park studios for a sense of what's happened. This is something like we've never really seen, at least recently, Calvin. Let's begin by understanding what we know about this individual.
Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to our SABC viewers at home. It's always a pleasure to come and sit here so that we can be able to tell our viewers what really transpired on today's stories. I was at the OR Tambo International Airport. Today we arrived at around 5:30 so that we can be able to make sure that we capture the historic moment of a Chinese national going back home. To answer your question, Ayanda, we are talking about Chen Fuijia, a 63-year-old fugitive. He has been in South Africa for some time, because I'm told by our sources that he's been here since, I think, around 2021. You would remember that he has been sought by the Chinese government for allegedly defrauding the Chinese government multi-million rands. He was involved in a scheme that defrauded a Chinese government, and now he has been in South Africa, hiding in South Africa. And you'd remember that he was intercepted when he tried to apply for a visa. He wanted to go to United States of America. He was trying to apply for a visa and sent in at the US Embassy. Unfortunately for Chinese government, he was caught and he was detained. He appeared last year at the Randburg Magistrate Court, and he was detained, and the process was followed up until today. That is where he was sent back home.
And I wonder if there's any information about how this 120 million rand was siphoned from the Chinese government. Has there been any kind of information about that, or are investigations still underway?
The information is still scanned, because no one really knows what really transpired. But those who are in the know, they are telling us that this man was actually one of those who are being suspected to manage or deal with this scheme, and he managed to defraud a government 120 million. We will still have to dig more so that we can be able to find out on what really transpired. But today, myself and our video journalist Mpo, we went there, and we were told by the police that he is about to come. And when he came, there was a convoy that took place. You would imagine that convoy, and when he disembarked, and he was crying, I think you saw some of the visuals. He was wearing a mask. He didn't want to speak to the media. We tried to solicit comments, but he didn't want to speak to us. He was holding his mouth, crying hysterically. So when he was taken to the local police station at the OR Tambo International with legs chained, and when we spoke to a government, South African Police Service, they told us that it's a win for them, and they will make sure that he goes back to China. He was using a flight called Air China back home, and we were told that he would have left at around 10, and he was expected to arrive in China at around 8 this night. And we are told that police officials in China are waiting for him. That is when he will be taken to a custody. At a later stage, he will be able to attend court proceedings. That is where he will be charged in China.
Yeah, you mentioned that this is a victory for the SAPS. They've also mentioned that they now have established a dedicated team to find other similar suspects.
Yes, I understand that was said by the police national spokesperson, Brigadier Atlenda Mate, that even though they have managed to nab this one, but they still believe that there are more fugitives who are wanted. The number is 18, and they are saying that a team has been established, to track and trace those fugitives. You remember, there is a case that I covered where almost 10 Chinese nationals were charged and convicted in one of the courts here in South Africa. That would be your Johannesburg Magistrate Court. That tells you, that our government, especially the police, are working around the clock actually to deal with such cases, especially cases that would include fraud and cases that would include kidnapping. But police told us that they will make sure that they let us know once they manage to nab the other ones that they are looking for.
All right, Kelvin Dludla, thanks very much indeed for letting us in on what you know. We'd always been told that some crime that's committed in South Africa is indeed transnational in many respects, and I suppose this is a case in point. Kelvin Dludla, once again, thanks very much indeed.